When you're a War Thunder player who is absolutely useless at times, and I'll get there one day. I might need you guys' help getting there, but I'll get there. So when you're a budding ground realistic player or you're an aspirational air realistic player, sometimes you just need to take a break from getting your ass beat all the time. Sometimes you just need to play War Thunder on easy mode. Well, easy mode with the occasional chance of complete destruction if you get put up against the wrong boats. So when I say easy mode, I'm talking about coastal battles in War Thunder. I almost never see anybody talk about these. I think the few people who discuss Naval typically focus on the Blue Water Fleet. But in this endeavor to spade every single vehicle in the game, I've played a fair amount of coastal battles, and honestly, for the most part, I enjoy them. Like I said, I think almost no one plays these, at least at the low rank that I am currently at. I'm in rank 1 for, I think, everything. And from what I've been told in the community, as I move up in battle rating, these are going to become less and less fun, which then again is something I've heard about the entire game. So maybe that's just a feeling people get as they play more War Thunder. Now me, I'm still hopeful, optimistic, new to the game, stars in my eyes, unlocking vehicles. I haven't succumbed to the pain of the grind yet, and you know what? Actually, I never will. Boundless optimism over here. So right now, in this spading journey, I focus heavily on tanks, a little bit in planes, and I'll dabble in Blue Water Fleet. Though, honestly, I feel like even at the rank I'm already at, they're already mismatched. I mean, when I've got destroyers against heavy cruisers routinely, I just don't really have a chance. But when I want to turn my brain off, get some research points, spade a few vehicles, and rack up some silver lions, guess what? I turn to coastal. Now again, I don't know how things change as I move up in rank, but right now, I get at most 5 or 6 human players per team, and sometimes it's just 2 or 3. I've legit recently been in matches where it's 2 players per team with a roster of bots, which means we get to drive around in our fun little boats, shooting the easy targets. It's a refreshing change of pace in a game where you are constantly punished by extremely skilled 10,000 hour players. I think part of why I find coastal battles so interesting is just the weird, crazy quirkiness of the boats and the resulting extreme mismatches. They're honestly even more extreme than what you see in Blue Water, but the battles are so much faster that it isn't quite as painful when you do get matched up against boats that your team or you personally just have no chance against. I mean, there are times where I take a 13-person torpedo boat dinghy with one wee little machine gun that's made to ambush destroyers and fire torpedoes, and I turn the corner or round an island, and I'm face to face with a 34-man crew gunboat that just obliterates me in 4 shots because it not only has massive player-controlled cannons, but also auxiliary gunners who are trained on me immediately. Like, those two things realistically shouldn't be matched up. But again, if you think about their roles in history and why they existed, they never would be matched up. You see, when you look at planes and tanks, there's a very clear arms race against each other, at least in the nations that would have faced off quite often. Country A makes a tank with a really big gun, so Country B then builds really heavily armored tanks to resist that gun. Then Country A develops light, fast tanks which can outmaneuver those heavily armored tanks, and then Country B responds by developing a line of tanks to support that heavy armor. And that's how you get the lineups that you see on the ground. In Coastal, you're taking boats that were never meant to face off against each other, giving them roughly appropriate battle ratings, and then dropping them into the same body of water. I mean, if you think about the nature of these boats, they were mostly used domestically. Russia, for example, built these big motor gunboats to basically be floating tanks and float down alongside the advancing forces and provide cover against oncoming ground forces. Germany had their coastal fleet designed to try and maintain some control over the English Channel because they couldn't build a big, strong enough navy to compete with England. So instead they used these small, fast boats for night strikes. In the US, their coastal fleet was mainly designed for island hopping around the Pacific with small, quick boats to sail among the reefs and do quick hit and run. These were all designed for dramatically different missions, and then they get dropped into the same combat zone, so you end up with some hilarious mismatches. But again, I did complain about mismatches in the Blue Water battles The reason I don't like those as much is because you're up against a hopeless situation, but it's still going to take several minutes to play out. I mean, you're always going to go down swinging, you're always going to go down shooting, but if you're on a destroyer with 280 crew shooting at 2 heavy cruisers that have 600 each, you're not going to win that fight. And you might maneuver a bit, you'll keep the fight going for a while, but they're going to wear you down, and it's going to take a really long time. And then you got to spawn a few more times. In coastal, at least, mercifully, it's pretty quick. When you turn the corner and you're up against the kind of boat that's going to blow you out of the water, you're going to be gone probably 20 seconds flat. That happens 3 times, you're out of that match from 4 minutes flat. No consequences, load it back up, shoot some more bots for fun. Now, I will say the more I play, the more I do see some strategy in effect. The players who score the most are hanging back and doing the right things. But again, they use more meta boats. Maybe they're just silver lion grinding. I don't know what the appeal is there for them. I'm actually not sure I would play this mode if I weren't grinding to spade every single vehicle. I mean, I dabbled in it when I started out just because I was curious and it looked pretty. The boats were cool, islands were neat, I liked the water and the peacefulness in between. I don't know how many people truly play it for fun, but I certainly do. Lately, I've been having a real good time playing ground realistic with some squad mates. But if I log on and it seems like no one's really on, I might do a quick few coastal battles just to grind out some silver lions and get a vehicle spaded. Because again, very low rank, I can move that goal forward pretty quick. It's not a bad way to play. So coastal, I know it's not the most popular mode, I know it's not the most flashy, it's not the most populated, though I am still hoping to see a bunch of people pop into the comments and say, oh my gosh, I love Coastal, I play it all the time. Just wait until these cool ships that you get at whatever battle rating. I can't wait for that. I'm hoping it happens. But I'm realistic. I know it's a very overlooked mode. Maybe I might have more fun if I combined it with Blue Water. I'm not quite sure. As it stands, I typically go Coastal specifically and Blue Water specifically. I'm not sure if it's best practice to match the two up. But at any rate, that's why I'm not in Discord asking anybody to play Coastal with me. Because honestly, I'm not sure who does. I'm looking to find out. And I do think if we brought a full squad to a few Coastal matches, we'd have a pretty good time. Maybe think about it. If you're up for some arcade Coastal and you're dying for somebody to play with, I'm your guy. But alas, that brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me talk about my appreciation for this underrated, honestly, game mode. If you do want to play, you have some secret desire, join the Discord, we'll set it up. Links in the description. Either way, we'll see you next time. This is Mediocre Thunder, signing off.